All right, so modern mud. To start with, mud is an old homage to the old brown border that we had before things became silver. So mud in general refers to artifact-based decks, generally things that are trying to accelerate out larger artifacts ahead of time. And mud references the brown that was the color of artifacts previously. As far as what this deck is doing, we've got Everflowing Chalice and Astral Cornucopia alongside Coretapper to add charge counters and Surge Node to add charge counters to ramp up into Lodestone Golem as a disruption piece. And then Kuldotha Forgemaster to find things like Blightsteel Colossus, Platinum Angel, and Wurmcoil Engine. You have a pseudo combo kill in the same turn you play to the board, in that you play Kuldotha Forgemaster, slide Lightning Greaves onto it, activate this, go get Blightsteel Colossus, and then equip Greaves to Blightsteel. This is how the combos worked in things like Legacy and I think Vintage occasionally. I'm interested to see if this is good enough in Modern, because in general, Modern tends to be very creature-based, which means that attacking with your 11/11 often isn't going to deal 11 points of damage. So it's probably not so much a one-turn kill as it's going to be a 2 or 3 turn kill through blockers a lot of the time. There's 4 copies of Chalice over here, Nivik. They're buried under the cornucopias. The way Moto sorts things. New planes are good. You can't just keep rehashing the same old things, right? We have our classic 8 1-drops plus Chalice of the Void deck. Although I suppose this deck could afford to put Chalice on 2 on occasion. Is real. This hand only has 1 land in it, but by the power of this Fair and Balanced Magic the Gathering card, we should hit a second. Yeah, Nodes and Coretapper both do that, right? We played the Dice Factory deck a little bit on stream, and it had some similar ideas. It had a different combo kill than this deck is trying to execute, but some similar ideas. No, links are great. Looks like Colorless Eldrazi on the other side of the table, which actually makes the second Chalice draw exceptionally bad, because it means that these cards probably don't have text in this matchup. Grab Darksteel Citadel here. I'm gonna go ahead and play Mox Opal out here just to get it going, to get it into play, and then next turn I can go Darksteel Citadel, Everflowing Chalice for 1, cast Ancient Stirrings off the Mox Opal. Awesome, Prince Day. Yeah, I've liked that one a lot too. We're gonna try the Black-White Divine Visitation. Is a similar Priest of the Forgotten God style shell. It's looking like our opponent's just gonna be a little bit too aggressive for us on the play here, which was just one of my worries about playing this deck. I feel like this deck doesn't have a lot of meaningful interaction in it. And, like, our Goldfish draw doesn't seem that particularly quick. So, like, if Chalice of the Void or Lodestone Golem don't have text, we don't really have ways to disrupt what our opponent has going on. Hey, turn 3 Karn Daddy. Thanks for the 2-month resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good Tuesday and a good start to your week. I guess I just grabbed the Inventors Fair here, huh? And my plan is just, like, drop Forgemaster into play the following turn. I suppose if I can live through 2 turns to activate this Forgemaster, I do get to put Platinum Angel into play, which they have Dismember to kill game 1, but other than that, that's it. Yeah, we're gonna be in sub-only chat all week, and Assuming the rest of the week goes as well as it did yesterday, sub-only chat's going to be a permanent fixture here. I think it adds more value to the people who are subscribed. It increases my level of sanity. Makes the stream stay more focused and on task. I'm gonna make a command for Mud. Alright, I assume we're just dead here. I suppose we're technically not dead, right? Like I'm not dead on board. Maybe they have Stone Cold Nothing. So like this blocks Thought Not Seer, so we're like dead to another Thought Not Seer. We're dead to Land Smasher. We're not dead to Matter Reshaper. We're dead to Endless One. Yeah, they just curved right on us. So this is an easy cuts for Chalice the Void here, post board. They are also a Chalice deck, so that card doesn't really have text. Dismember and Ensnaring Bridge seem fine. Honestly, I guess I'm going to board in Spellskite just as a blocker. The rest of our cards don't really have text here. I suppose I could board in Welding Jar for like randomly protecting from their Ratchet Bombs that they're likely to have, and it gives me another 0 to enable Mox Opal. That seems marginally better. I think I leave in Lodestone Golem not because its text box is relevant, but just because like a 5/3 for 4 is like kind of okay. I think Damping Sphere for Temple's pretty narrow. This hand's not amazing, but I think it's in the range of keepable. We have 1 artifact, 2 artifact, 3 artifacts, so if we draw a land, we can like turn 3 Lodestone Golem, turn 4 Forgemaster. I would love a land. I'm going to go ahead and play the Mox Opal out proactively here, just in case they left their Chalices in with the intention to put them on 0. Hopefully, Lodestone on 3 is going to mess up their curve a little bit. It's going to make all their colorless things cost 1 more. Since this explicitly makes non-artifacts cost 1 more, it impacts Eldrazi. So unless they have another temple, they can't cast Thought Not Seer next turn. Morning, CJNJ. Hey, Scryman, thanks for checking in for the 5th month in a row. Hope you're having a good one. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh no! Oh no, they have the artifact technology, chat. They have the artifacts. They're probably just stone cold to Blightsteel, right? What are the odds? What are the odds they can beat a Blightsteel? What does MUD stand for? Moxon, uncertainty, and doubt. Oh, Burgle. Beep, beep. Kids these days don't know their magic heritage. Know where you've come from, children. Know where you've come from. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cast this, because if I find Lightning Greaves, I can Blightsteel and attack them. It's like, put another Lodestone into play here, probably. I just took a long break. Yeah, I bet. Would you look at that? They died. Would you look at that? They've died. That one. My colorless creatures are bigger than your colorless creatures. My colorless creatures are bigger than your colorless creatures. My colorless creatures are bigger than your colorless creatures. Neener, neener, neener. Hey, Brian, thanks for the 26 months. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for keeping me around. So they serum powder and then went to 6. I think this is keepable. This morning I have a balanced break, natural double, cheddar cheese, vanilla blueberry clusters, and other natural flavors. Normally I eat something that has to come out of the fridge to start things off for the day because I don't have a fridge down here, so I like to eat refrigerated stuff when I can to start. Just Up B, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Welcome back. Opal sounds good because it lets me ramp. So next turn I can go Citadel, Coretapper, Opal, Surge Node. How were the numbers yesterday after the changes? We had okay numbers yesterday. Mondays are usually my high day of the week, so and numbers fluctuate a lot week to week, and there's a lot of variation in, you know, like we're, for example, like right now we're at a low point for this set too, which makes it hard to know exactly if they're good, bad, or otherwise. We're gonna run the whole week and see how it goes. I was happier after yesterday, which is a big value. I felt like the content was better yesterday because there's less of me having to be a parent with the sub-only chat. There's less of, hey, read the rules. This is where you find the deck list, etc., etc. Because, like, you know, people who are here and who are subbed to know the drill, basically, right? They're not here screwing around for the most part. And if there are occasional new person questions from people who have just sub, it's a lot less than just like the masses in general. Yeah, Coretapper can also screw with Ratchet Bomb, which is funny. Both Surge Node and Coretapper can screw with this. Outro 2 Pierce, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Otros, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. Welcome back. Be sure to drop me a message. Let me know which deck you'd like to bump up in the queue. I don't believe non-subs can cheer with sub-only chat out. I'm pretty sure they can't. And for reference, like, I know making the chat sub-only is going to end up ultimately costing me money. And that's one of the reasons why I avoided doing it for so long. But I'm kind of just at a point where I think whatever amount of lost income turning the chat to sub-only equates to, just like, is worthwhile due to my sanity. Worthwhile due to my frustration. It also just gives a better value for people who are actually paying me too. Like, if I'm not distracted as much, I can focus more on what people are asking. Yes, admin. Correct. I can't kill this once they sacrifice it, because sacrificing it is part of putting it, sacrificing it is part of tapping it. No, I'm not doing sub some days and some not some days. I'm just gonna crank this to 6 where it can't hurt anything. Enjoy your Ratchet Bomb. Logan, thanks for the 4 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. And Princess, thanks for the biddies. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Yeah, to a degree, Oatrose. The big reason my meltdown occurred is just the amount of just like constant barrage of people being assholes and me not handling it well. So the most reasonable response to that feels like just pulling back all of the means through which I allow people to scream obscenities and tell me that I'm worthless as a human being and other things like that. I can't be stopped. It looks like non-subs can still cheer bits. Look at that. Thanks for testing that for me. Hey, Dougie Adams, I'm sorry your resub's not working. We've always got a timeout for you. Maybe refresh your browser page after your timeout's done. Yeah, there was a big response from a lot of people. I think I've never been in a position anywhere relative to mine that are like, you should just like learn to read constant negativity and obscenity thrown your way and just like learn to deal with it. And I was like, that just seems like a much worse idea than just like removing all of that from my life. So like moving forward, my Twitter account's going to be more of a brand account, just going to be tweeting stuff about decks that we play and then random sponsor stuff. And then here is going to be sub-only to remove the random obscenities that you have to deal with in Twitch chat. What am I doing here? I think I'm just getting a land. I only have 1, 2, 3 lands. The Forgemaster is kind of the card I want to draw, though. I'm going to take the Forgemaster, actually. There's plenty of mana sources in our deck. Excuse me. Hey, Brogsby. Thank you for the 8 months. I appreciate 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, on a normal day, I would do fine. It's just, you know, sometimes I'm not sure people like you all. I'm sure have read various forums and like see how how obnoxious people are when you put them. I'm like, what's the saying? Normal person plus anonymity equals total obnoxious person. Like that's the saying. And like that's definitely the case. 99% of all obnoxious things shouted on the internet are done so from behind an anime avatar, in my experience. Some oldies like the rest of life. You don't let people treat you like crap unless they're giving you money. It's your job. Right, AJ Crane? Are you a customer here? No, you can leave, please. Morning, Jersey. Hope you're having a good one. I don't know that the sub-tournament's going to come to fruition. I've been looking more into the logistics of it, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to be feasible. It seems like it's going to be both a headache to manage pairings and a headache to manage making coverage work for it, which means it's just like a pain in like every direction. Thanks for the biddies, Prince Day. Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, exactly, Ferged. It's just like, it's just like a vicious circle, right? So like, I have dozens of people who get hundreds of upvotes that say mean things about me, and then it goes to my head, and I get frustrated, and then I do terrible things, and not even necessarily terrible things so much as just get frustrated and lash out. So removing myself from situations where that can happen just seems smart. Lodestone Golem, notably not particularly good against Hardened Scales deck. Maybe, actually, you know what? I'm probably not even supposed to put Lodestone Golem into play here. I'm probably supposed to hold this Mox Opal to play the Forgemaster, so I draw another land. I don't even think, like, do we even have tools to be successful here? Like, how do I beat this deck? Because, like, Blightsteel's in my hand, and, like, that's my only way to kind of cheese it. Like, Wurmcoil Engine's not good enough, and this isn't meaningful disruption. I mean, I can theoretically cast this Blightsteel Colossus, I guess, but even that's super slow, right? Yeah, I agree, Gorgia. It's definitely, like, impulse control, like that waiting for the notification, the likes, the retweets. Did someone favorite my thing? Did the right people favorite my thing? Do they care? If they didn't do it, they don't care. Those types of emotions that social media elicits. Double across the burn incident. We had some good TV moments during the bird stream. Jack Oz, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Just so they don't lose their aim. God bless. So, Cornucopia ramps up kinda quickly, but I'm not sure that's gonna be enough to beat double Steel Overseer. John, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome. There's a lot of great people you can ship your Bezo bucks to everyone through on Twitch. Thanks for sending them my way this month. I wonder what their other payoffs are here. Obviously, they want to get Steel Overseers going first. Like, do they have Walking Ballista? That's an Arcbound Ravager. Well, I have Ghost Quarter to keep the Inkmoth Nexus in checks. Like, I'm not super worried on that aspect. Oh, they have Welding Jar, though. Yikes. Thoroughly tested, John. Yeah, they have Welding Jar here to protect it for a turn. And then I do at least have you at least have this, like, when they regenerate it gets removed from combat. So, like, this doesn't kill it on the back of the Welding Jar, but it does stop it from killing us for a turn. GQ it, an archer while they're tapped out. Yeah, that's a good line. I like it. Hey, Godflesh. Thank God of Flesh. Thank you for the very generous tier 2 sub. I hope you're having a good Tuesday over out. Thanks for the support. Thanks for keeping me around. So we are going to get an immense amount of ramp here. So I'm going to get to double Surge Node the Cornucopia and then double Kicker the Everflowing Chalice. I'm not sure that it's going to be... Are we dead next turn? I feel like we're probably dead next turn. Not quite. Getting close. So I'm going to 16, activating this Horizon Canopy. Aren't you always dead to hardened scales off the top? When aren't we dead to hardened scales off the top? Is this deck sometimes known as Dice Factory? So there's a deck with a similar Surge Node engine known as Dice Factory. I'm not sure if this qualifies as far as my expertise on tier 8 modern deck goes. I'm kind of falling short here, so I believe we're dead. Easiest block ever. Uh, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. They actually had us dead on. They actually have us dead on board. They could have killed us without letting us untap. I'm not sure that we really have tools to be successful here. I guess Chalice on 2 is pretty good in this matchup. Nature's Claim, Spellskite, Dismember, Walking Ballista seem fine. Lodestone Golem is pretty rancid. Platinum Angel seems kind of mediocre. I think Wurmcoil Engine's probably fine. What do I want to cut here? Chalice of the Void's not amazing. Maybe I cut 2 of them. We're just like this really bad colorless control deck, basically. How long till standard? Not strictly, because I don't always know how long Moto Leagues take. Usually we start about 9:30 or so, Sander. Today, I got started a little bit late, though, so probably closer to 9:45 or 10. Somewhere in that time frame. The sand has a bunch of ramp in it, so I guess we keep it. So, like, I play Surge Node on 1. I play Everflowing Chalice with Multi-Kicker 1 on 2. I use the mana from the Everflowing Chalice to Surge Node onto the Everflowing Chalice. A 0 CMC ad nauseum shell. How do you actually kill them, Hive Mind? What's the win condition? Is it just Lightning Storm? I need help. They're blasting Nickelback. Hey, C Unit. Thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. What are the shovels digging for again? I don't know. I'm sure we need trenches for something. Foundations for buildings. And this is why Moto takes so long, because people randomly just like walk away from their computer or have disconnects, and there's no timer that runs out on them because they get 10 minutes between game actions. If we don't draw a payoff, this hand's gonna be kind of mopey. Look at the beautiful hats on our artifacts. The hatliest hats that I've ever had it, if you would. I agree this deck has a stark lack of brown artifacts. Does not quite live up to its mud heritage. Alright, cast Cornucopia for 1. Play this out. Cast a Spellskite. I could play another Cornucopia for 1 here, but next turn I can go on to Everflowing Chalice. This is 4, 5, 6, and then play this out for 2. Get a little bit more ramp going. This deck is more clay than mud. Yikes. Well, at least my opponent currently lacks mana. That might be our saving grace if we can find something to do off the top. Inventors Fair. Well, that eventually gives us something to do, I suppose. Let's play this out for X's 2. I get to go ahead and put my old Lightning Greaves into play. Things you don't want to do. Put your Lightning Greaves on your Spellskite. That will defeat the purpose of said skiting spells. So next turn I have 3, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. So I can play Inventors Fair, crack Inventors Fair, cast Wurmcoil Engine. I can play Inventors Fair, crack Inventors Fair, get Kuldotha Forgemaster, put Greaves on Forgemaster, get Blightsteel Colossus, attack with Blightsteel Colossus. So I guess if they don't leave blockers up, we could kill them this turn. They're not dead because they have Steel Overseer. Again, just like blockers. Blockers mean we can't kill them, unfortunately. So this is free. So I can Blightsteel them off of the Forgemaster. And then, like, we're not dead on board, but then they have a bunch of blockers. So, like, the Blightsteel isn't ending the game immediately. I think it's still our best line. So, like, this forces them to lose the second Steel Overseer. And then it forces them to have, this thing's indestructible, right? Yeah. And then it forces them to have, you know, they're taking, what, 8 infect here? So it forces them to have 10 toughness back every turn for the rest of the game. And this Walking Ballista might muddle the calculations. So I'm going to get to play that out next turn for X is, so this is 5, 6, 7, 8. X is 4 on this next turn. Can Worker still modular if it jumps? It can, actually. So Magic's weird in that minus counters and plus counters cancel each other out, except when minus counters cause the creature to die. Then the counters don't cancel each other out. Yeah, the Walking Ballista is going to work real well here. The Walking Ballista is going to mean they basically need 4 extra points of defense. Because I can mark damage on their things with the Walking Ballista before the Infector would deal damage. What? Am I dead if I don't? No, I'm not dead if I don't block because I have Spellskite, right? No blocks. Maybe they don't realize I can Spellskite modular. I bet they don't realize I can Spellskite modular. Because this attack says to me they're trying to lethal me this turn. Yeah, they don't realize that I can Spellskite their modular. Kids these days probably ain't even seen a Spellskite in their lives. They don't know all the tricks these Spellskite can do, chat. They don't remember. Kids these days, rabble, 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 rabble. Okay. Yeah, they're dead. Because Walking Ballista marks damage on this, then they die to Blightsteel. Oh, I guess they can sacrifice these to put more counters on this, but that still basically makes them dead. Yeah, they can live on nothing, essentially. I guess they can go land second Walking Ballista. So this marks 1 damage on here, so now if they don't sacrifice anything, they're going to, The best part about spellskiting modular triggers in paper was a lot of people didn't realize modular was a May. And on Magic Online, it makes it really easy to realize modular is a May. Because what's it called? Alright, so now I just want to mark 3 damage on here, right? So if I put 3 on here, this kills it. Alright, so I'm dead to land Walking Ballista next turn. Which they have the Walking Ballista in their hand, huh? Oh, I can activate for Angel. Oh yeah, I totes forgot about that. That sounds great. Oh no, I did take out Angel. That's so sad. I totally took out Angel. Wow, brutal. Bunted. Yep, they have the Ballista. That was well played by the opponent. I shouldn't have cut the Angel. So the line was to get Angel and hasten up pre-combat. No, that doesn't work either, Dimir Spy, because they just block and then sacrifice their thing. So they don't take damage, they don't deal life. The line was block with Spellskite the previous turn, I think. The actual line was don't board out Platinum Angel. The actual line was lost during sideboarding. Lim Nursery, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I know in that specific game, we could have won with Platinum Angel, but I really do feel like it showed some of the awkwardness of the Blightsteel Colossus plan in Modern. Just like, this deck is so creature-based, or this format is so creature-based that, like, trying to hit with this Infector is almost never going to be a one-shot attack, and there's just so many decks in Modern that once they survive the first attack, they're able to untap and kill you. Oh, you're saying I could have attacked with both. Okay, that makes sense. So I could have attacked with Blightsteel and Wurmcoil Engine pre-combat. Yeah, okay, so the details are important there. So not attacking with just Wurmcoil doesn't do it, but you're right. We could attack with both. The details are what matter. I agree. That was a line to keep us alive without Angel in our deck. Yeah, be specific. Lot going on in a game of Magic. A lot going on in a given board state. We're looking for some ramp. I think I'm taking Mox Opal here. Am I? I think it's just Mox Opal. It's like kind of ramp. Hopefully this is going to find some other artifact to play out. I did not end up updating the gates list last night, no. I think I still have a note to do it. Do I still have a note to do it? I do still have a note to do it. I'll have to get around to it later today. Hopefully. Get that. Drew an artifact. Get to play Coretapper. Get to play this. Get to play Ancient Stirrings. Lodestone Golem's okay in this matchup. Chalice on 2 is pretty good in this matchup. None of these are meaningful magic cards. I guess I take Everflowing Chalice. What did we update in gates? I'm going to change the list on my site to have more interaction in it. We played a teamer build with Shivanfire yesterday, and while cutting white felt bad, having more cheap interaction past Gates Ablaze felt really good. Now, I don't really want to play the Chalice out, because I'm going to, like, play Lodestone Golem next turn, and then, like, play this for double kicker. It's really awkward the way multi-kicker works and Eidolon here, that this is going to cost us 2 points of health to multi-kick next turn. Look at that. Marty giving the gift of speech. He's such a giver. Man, having a 4-drop that dies to Searing Blaze is a real buzzkill. We went sub only yesterday morning. Give it a test drive for the week. Yeah, the Arcbound Ravager was huge, Thaddeus. It was like an 8/8 to start. I only had 4 counters on my thing. Yeah, we're basically on the hope we draw a Wurmcoil plan or Blightsteel Colossus at this point. We can actually just like cast Blightsteel, right? What's going on, Beetle? Yeah, we hit okay-ish numbers. I think there's also a lot of people in here that like know the schedule. And I know for a fact that like there's a number of people that are just like a standard waiting room. Are they dead? They're dead, right? Well, that's kind of hot. This is turn 5 lethal. All right, I bet that for $1. Bye, friend. Get to the chopper. To the chopper. Do. Yeah, this is game 1, so they shouldn't have Path or Deflecting Palm in their deck at the moment, so seems a-okay. Okay, Skite. We're gonna board in Nature's Claim for the purpose of killing our own stuff. What am I cutting? I need 4 cuts. Do you take out Blightsteel on the theory that they'll have Palm? Nah, you don't like cut your creatures against removal spells. Twitch is so funny. Someone mentioned when the viewer count got mentioned, we dropped like 100 people. A bunch of the standard people were like, oh no, they're counting us for modern numbers. We gotta come back later. I think that does classify as a big floop. Yeah, you can claim your own Citadel, and yeah, sometimes they just tap out too, which is great. Yeah, you can still palm something with Shroud. Palm is this weird choose verbiage, which is annoying. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna cut Lodestone just because it's a 4-drop that dies to all their burn spells. I think that's the play. I can see an argument for putting, what's it called in my deck? What's this a keep? This hand kind of doesn't do anything, huh? I can see an argument for putting Welding Jar in my deck. Oh, I should have played this out because of this, right? Definitely. I think we're dead. This hand was not a good keep. This doesn't really do anything. Even not playing the Mox out didn't really matter. I just shouldn't have kept this hand. Need to mulligan a little bit more aggressively. Find hands that actually have payoffs in them. Well, this hand has a payoff in it, I guess. Yeah, this hand's actually really good. I get to go Forest, Surge Node, Opal, Cornucopia, and Surge Node onto the Cornucopia. And I, like, have Forgemaster and Platinum Angel. This hand's actually great. To, like, look at it and figure out in what manner is it great. And then next turn we can kick the Everflowing Chalice. So next turn I'll go Surge Node onto here, and then if I draw a land, I can multi-kicker this for 2, and if I don't, I can multi-kicker it for 1. So 1 land, please, little guide. Guide me along. Perfect land, too. Just the completely ideal one, because it starts gaining me life. So I can just cast Platinum Angel next turn. Actually, I'd probably rather cast Forgemaster, huh? That's a pretty good one. I want to split these counters up for when they eventually have a way to destroy one of these things. Yeah, Forgemaster, I agree. Forgemaster is pretty likely to eat removal here, which makes it the extra better choice to lead on. I think I'm going to cash this Coretapper in as a gain 2. It's going to, like, block and then put 2 charge counters in the Cornucopia. The Fringe Modern player, what makes this ramp package viable over just playing Tron? Probably nothing. This deck's probably much worse than just playing Tron on average in terms of consistency. The thing you have to understand about Modern, the thing that makes it appeal from a more casual perspective, is that a lot of the things that get played in Modern aren't played because they're good, they're played because they're cute. They're played because there's something someone really likes playing. So I put Chalice on 1 and then cast this Platinum Angel, right? And then they have to have double Searing Blaze. Chalice on 1 or Chalice on 2? I have 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. Yeah, they probably have Revelry, huh? And they've already played a path. Yeah, I'm gonna put Chalice on 2, actually, I think. I could put Chalice on both? I totally could put Chalice on both, couldn't I? Do I do that? I could crack this Inventors Fair, go get another Chalice. And then you have to put it on 1 first. Because the Chalice on 2 counters Chalice on 1. They might kill my 1 in response to the 2. You're not wrong. I think I'm still supposed to go for it. And, like, if they can kill my Chalice on 1, that means they'd be able to kill my Platinum Angel too. So, like, playing Platinum Angel isn't safe if they can kill my Chalice on 1. Yeah, they had a smash here. Now, that being said, you could maybe make the argument that I'm supposed to just play Chalice on 2 and then play Platinum Angel. Like, that could definitely be an argument to be made. Are their last 2 cards 2 1-mana deal 3s? Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. We played a 7-drop by tapping 3 things. We're basically Tron. Basically Tron. Is that Path to Exile? They could have a Path to Exile. I mean, that's like not true in the slightest. Because again, like all of the people saying we shouldn't bother with X are implying that what we're doing is surviving. And if what we're doing is surviving, then it doesn't really matter what we do because the Angel's gonna live. But if they can beat Angel, they can beat anything. So like it's kind of a wash. Trigger. Alright, so hey Frezzinger, thank you very much for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this month. I don't have another friend to go get. So I guess I put this here. This is 9, 10, 11, 12. I do have a Wurmcoil I can go get. We have Colossus in our deck still. The problem is that The problem with getting Colossus is that if they leave the Swift Spear back, the Colossus isn't lethal. That's a cute line. I like that. Chalice on 2, search the other Chalice, Surge Node onto the Chalice. Yeah, we don't have Greaves yet. So I'm just gonna go get Wurmcoil Engine. And that should lock it up. Sugar. Colossus is an 11-11. It is not a 12-12, it's an 11-11. It costs 12, but it's 11-11. Could have worked in paper. Things that ultimately didn't matter, but are kind of funny. No, the Chalice counter is not a May ability. That card would be really good if it wasn't symmetrical. A Chalice would be a 4 of in every Legacy deck if it was optional. Sure. 10 seems reasonable. Opponent went to 5. My body is ready to get Troned. I'm going to keep that, I guess. Hey, Dumping Truck. Thanks for the 3-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, well, both, oh no, oh no, I obviously should have done this first. Shh, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. Whoopsie poopsie. This puts me a turn behind on the Lodestone Golem. Now, I really don't want to put my Chalice on 1. You're loving the sub-only mode. Aaron, thank you for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. And thank you for the feedback. I'm going to be sending out a new sub-survey at the end of the week to find out how people feel about sub-only mode. I felt better. I felt pretty good about it after yesterday. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. I've had pretty good feedback from people so far. Run it for 5 days. Look at the numbers. Look at the feedback, etc., etc. Fulminator Mage. Yep. We're destroying my land deal. All right, so if they attack me with Fairy Macabre, they're dead. Yeah, I agree, Jersey guy. It felt like it was easier to stay on topic. There's just less noise, basically. Like I said, my biggest worry was that I wouldn't have meaningful interactions in with the chat itself, and like we've had enough subs that we're like having enough chat going on still that it feels fine. Does Lodestone stop Chalice from countering Living End? It does not. So even though they still have to pay 1 mana to cast the Living End, it still has a converted mana cost of 0. Alright, I have a really important lesson for everybody out there. Grafdigger's Cage does not stop Living End. Grafdigger's Cage does not stop Living End. Grafdigger's Cage does not stop Living End. Just very, very important. Just you wanna say it to yourself a few times to remember. Robin, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. One more time for the people in the back. Yep. Yep. You only make that mistake once. There's a real awkward judge call. They explain it and you're like, "Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense." All right, so last time we cut Platinum Angel and I said it was wrong. Is it wrong to cut Platinum Angel? It probably is, right? There's going to like actually cast things that I'm going to be sad. What am I trimming here? I need 1 cut for the Spellskite. That's literally what happened. Yep, listen, you are very far from being alone and that being something you've experienced, Jersey. Journeys. Very, very far from being alone. I'm gonna cut Coretapper. Nah, it's a big part of our ramp. They are going to have a bunch of ingot chewers. That's true. Welding Jar is probably good. This probably isn't meaningful disruption. It makes their combo cost... I guess it makes their combo cost 5. That's probably not good enough. I'm gonna cut the Lodestones. It was a great judge call. Woof. This hand just doesn't do anything, and it doesn't have a Chalice, so I'm gonna mulligan. This hand doesn't have a Chalice the Void in it, but like it has some other... It has like Ancient Stirrings and a green source. Surge Road's actually a pretty reasonable draw here. Mox Opal sounds good. And I can do this. Do this. Do this. Do this. Pass the turn. It does have a Chalice in it. You are not wrong. You are technically correct, which one could argue is the best kind of correct. I assume their hand where they haven't cycled anything yet has a way to interact with this, but we'll see. I assume there are ingot chewers in my future and beast withins, etc. Yes, for Chalice to stop ingot chewer, it would need to be a Chalice on 5. That is correct. 3, 4, 5. So still short of casting this Wurmcoil, so let's go ahead and pass. Buried Rune does let us pick the Chalice back up, which means my opponent is going to have to kill the Chalice and combo in the same turn, which is nice. So get my lasers charging. Did I just target itself? I totally just misclicked and targeted itself. I mean, at least that doesn't cost me anything but time. Things that only happen on Moto. And if I hadn't misclicked and targeted itself, we'd have been able to play Forgemaster this turn. Did I just get double Spirit Guide Violent Outburst? I just got double Spirit Guide Violent Outburst. Yay, Modern. That's true. At least we didn't target Mox Opal. They were gonna destroy my land, which puts me even further behind. If I would have maybe not misclicked there, I'd have been ahead of mana. And like maybe have been able to get something going. Yeah, this is super reasonable, right? We go Surge Node, Everflowing Chalice, and then next turn we go Surge Node onto here, land Coretapper, get a bunch of mana going. Well, that's aggressive. That must mean they have multiple, right? Well, I guess we get Welding Jar for now. Looking for Chalice of the Void. Looking for that sweet, sweet hate card. The rules on the website are no longer relevant. The rules are listed right here. Them's all the rules. They're short and sweet. Rikachu, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Nah, I'm gonna stay off the topic of politics too. Moving forward. We can just cast the Angel here. Now, I'm not going to require structured form for questions any longer. Just because with the chat being sub-only, it gives me more flexibility to help people ask better questions rather than requiring that they know how to ask good questions up front. The goal of having structured suggestions for how people should ask questions previously was there to try and keep down the amount of bad things that the amount of clutter that occurred in chat when the chat was getting large. But maybe decided to get a master's degree in math. The fact that I didn't have to pay for it. I went to a school that gave me a TA position. Yeah, I don't want them to block with Chewer because I don't want Chewer in their graveyard should they play a Cascade spell. Agger, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. This angel might go the distance. It's going full speed. It's all alone. Letting borrow Amulet tonight. Any advice for playing the deck? I would recommend drawing the card Amulet. Yes, we are currently playing against Cascade Living End. It seems like they're just flooding out. They don't have any. They haven't cast any cyclers yet. Nope, you still got your badge there. You're good, Edgar. The Twitch notifications have been completely foobarred with regards to showing who's been subbed for how long. So I think they're gonna cycle and trade for this Wurmcoil, but I think that might be okay for me too. Or maybe they're just planning to Cascade here and swap the board just to like get the Platinum Angel out of play. They are at 6 after all here. If they attack with Ingot Chewer, I'm not blocking. Because I don't want Ingot Chewer to be in their bin when they play this Cascade spell here. Yeah, I started late this morning, Burgle. So we're going to run behind a little bit. I'm just here to make dad jokes. Yeah, I live in a place that still does daylight savings time. In fact, most of the United States, sans Arizona, I think, does daylight savings time. We're still kind of in an okay spot because Wurmcoil makes tokens, and like we were able to sacrifice our Coretapper here. Charge in lasers. Yeah, over the weekend our time shifted here. Alright, well we're 3-1. And there's a chance I definitely punted the second game in the match that we lost. I don't know that we would have necessarily won the third game because the Hardened Scales matchup seems kind of mediocre for this, but the second game loss was definitely on me. We're going to go ahead and play the last one here, even though we're getting close to what should be standard time, because I did start late this morning. We're going to play the last modern one, then we'll roll on into 4 standard decks like usual. 100% to lose so we can 3-2, right? Looking for the last one. We got a pretty good standard lineup today. Esper Hightower could be kind of middling, but Bio Bolas and Grixis midrange both look promising. And Black-White Divine Visitation could be okay or not. It's the core of the Black-White Aristocrat shell, so that archetype is fine as a whole. Does that mean the timeout meme is dying? It is to a degree. So, my goal is to remove unnecessary hostility from my life, and timing people out and the results of timing people out aggressively that I have to listen to in terms of public feedback is not great. I'm going to leave the punt command to time people out, though, because I think the punt command is rude. Can we ever beat traditional Tron? Maybe they're playing blue Tron? How do we ever beat traditional Tron with this deck? Can we ever beat the card Oblivion Stone in a million years? EVGA, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, we have 4. I guess we have kind of a quick clock in some situations, huh? We do have situations where like we get fast Forgemaster into fast Blightsteel. Conceding to Karn here. For those of you that are hanging out waiting for Standard to start, yes, my opponent did just tap 3 lands and cast a 7-mana spell. This is everything Modern embodies in a nutshell. Oh, Welding Jar probably stays in. Probably leave a Ballista to crank a bunch of mana into. I don't think Chalice of the Void's good enough here. I guess Chalice locks them off with some of their Edge draws. It probably got rebranded to Mardu Hero Meister Clickington. I think that one was mislabeled. Nah, I'm not going to leave Chalice, and if I'm boarding in Claim 2. Will Tron be one of the bigger winners of the London Mulligan? No. Every good deck gets better with the London Mulligan. Tron is better than Cloud Post in Modern. I agree with that assessment. A lot of Tron's best draws involve fast Karn, and Cloud Post doesn't cast fast Karn. Yeah, anyone interested in just, like, not stumbling and dying is, like, excited for the new mulligan roll. People are scared that Tron will consistently carn us on turn 3 with the new mulligan roll. Have they not played against current Tron? Are they... I don't understand. That already happens. It already happens. Cloudpost is also banned in Modern. Yeah, that's the point, Snuggle Bear. I think Cloudpost is banned, and I think it would likely be worse than the Tron lands are. Yeah, the big thing the London Mulligan's going to do is you'll never keep a 6 going, oh, if I scry into this thing, this hand is fine. Because, like, you'll see what your hand is and know whether or not it's okay to mulligan. I don't know. Is Dredge really going to be the biggest winner of the new mulligan roll? Because everybody else is going to have their Leyline of the Voids and their Rest in Pieces more often. There's surgical extractions. Everybody gets to draw their hate cards more often. I'm not sure that I buy that, like, it gets that much better when everybody else gets their hate cards as well. Yes, post can turn 3 Karn, but the mathematics of how often they can turn 3 Karn is much, much less than how often you can turn 3 Karn with Tron lands, because Tron lands come into play untapped, which allow you to search for more Tron pieces and use tutors and things like that, whereas Cloud Posts are coming into play tapped, and they have to come into play in a specific order. Notably, the Glimmer Post has to be the third one. Whereas with Tron lands, you can play them in any order, and they provide mana for you to help set up and find the other ones on turns 1 and 2, whereas Cloud Posts don't do that. Cloud Post lands are better at casting, like, Emrakul and Ulamog size things on turns 4 and 5 than Tron lands are, but they're much worse at casting Karn on turn 3, just mathematically speaking. If you run through the permutations of things that have to happen, they're much, much worse at it. Oh, I messed up. Oh, that's awkward. So I needed to float mana with that. So I was gonna multi-kicker this 3 times, but sacrificing this took my 3rd artifact out of play. Whoops. I don't think it matters. I have 8 mana instead of 9 now. I'm gonna, like, play a Tron piece and play a Karn, and I'm gonna die. Every good deck gets better, chat. Every good deck in Magic has cards that it wants more than other cards. The decks that are going to get worse under the new mulligan rule are decks that were bad to begin with and are only winning games of Magic and feel somewhat playable because your opponent doesn't play Magic a significant portion of the time. I genuinely believe this mulligan rule, what it's going to change is going to change the power level discrepancy between decks that are actually good and decks that have pretty much been unplayable all along, but variance allows them to prevail. This costs 5 mana to blow up. which is why we brought in Nature's Flame. I guess I get and cast Damping Sphere. Yeah, I guess I get and cast Damping Sphere. Surgical is a lot better against streamers. You're not wrong. I don't know. The fact they boarded in Surgical against us probably just says they don't really know what's going on, and they're trying to figure it out more so than they're ghosting. Yeah, Pikes. Everyone thought the Vancouver Mulligan rule, the Mulligan rule that we have right now, was gonna ruin Modern. A lot of people on that train. It's like a lot of people thought Jace the Mind Sculptor and Bloodbraid Elf were gonna run the format into the ground. We're all living in the byproduct of what actually happened there. I'm not playing out the second Damping Sphere because my opponent's most likely way to take this first Damping Sphere off the table is Oblivion Stone, which they're getting back with this Buried Rune. Not that it really matters because I can't beat this Oblivion Stone, so I've got like one draw to Nature's Claim before we concede. It's called the Vancouver Mulligan rule for the same reason that this Paris Mulligan is being referred to as the Paris Mulligan rule. Vancouver was the Pro Tour at which it was tested. All right, well, that was fun. I was having kind of a good time, and then we got Tron. You know, just modern things. We got the 3-2. There was nothing we could do in the Tron matchup to make it better. This deck is all cards that play to the table, so like you're gonna lose to the Oblivion Stone deck 9 times out of 10. Just how it goes. I definitely punted the second game in our first loss though, and there's no guarantee that we win the third and get the 4-1, but this deck's doing kind of interesting things. Kuldotha Forgemaster on the back of Lightning Greaves was genuinely powerful in a couple of places. Blightsteel Colossus was a touch awkward a few times, but also like snuck us out some other games that we wouldn't have won otherwise just because it was a quick clock. Like I said, there are a lot of creatures in Modern, so like this card is not a one-shot robot in a lot of instances just because people often have 2 points of toughness to throw in front of it, so it's a 2-turn clock, which is good enough in some places and not good enough in others.